Are you wondering what is going on in the world today? If you're like me and were raised as a fundamental Christian or in religion at all, you might be wondering if this is the end times, if this is the second coming of Christ. I'm going to talk about that in today's video. Hey there, I'm Amy, and I help people find their truth and live in it. And I feel like what is going on in our world today has so much to do with what may have been prophesied in the Bible by Jesus and other like-minded people. Now, if you have been following me at all the past couple years, I had a spiritual awakening or a conscious awakening about 3.5 years ago. And I'm no longer identify with a conservative Christian church and the rules or the dogma, so to speak, that go with that. But how I was raised, we talked a lot about the end times and the second coming of Christ. And I'm looking at that from this new perspective that I now have, that we are all spiritual beings having a human experience here on earth. And I really feel like we are here for a reason. Our soul, when we incarnated on the planet at this time, we knew that we would be going through this. We knew we were here for that purpose. And actually, back when I was in high school, my sister and I lived with a retired couple, and I do share this and the more about my awakening in my book, Unbound Allegiance, Finding Freedom in the Truth of Your Own, and you can buy that on Amazon. When I was in high school, the couple that we lived with studied the end times, and they knew even then, 25 years ago, that we were in the end times. Of course, they kept, thinking that, like all the past generations thought that they were in the end times. But what hadn't hit yet was the internet. And I fully believe that the internet has caused this awakening of the world to, commence. And so what we would have talked about in as the end times or the second coming of Christ, I believe fully is this awakening of consciousness on the planet. It's people opening their eyes to be like, wait a second, what do you mean, all of our healthcare is connected to all of the prescription drug companies? How is it all our food production is actually, connected to big corporation businesses and the big pharma and all these things? Like, how is that working for us? These humans just buying groceries at the store and going to the doctor. Like, how is this all connected? And I feel like we're having our eyes opened because of the internet, because of social media. We're able to see all of the perspectives and not just the one perspective that the media wants us to see. So all that to say, when I was growing up, we knew that the end times were coming and that there would be a tribulation time where there would potentially be natural disasters and worldwide famines or pandemics. And I really believe that is happening now. I don't, like I said, I went through this awakening. I don't identify as a Christian per se. I believe Jesus was an enlightened human being, and he died so that we would also see that we're all spiritual beings having this human experience. And I feel like what is happening on the planet right now is that we are seeing Christ consciousness coming onto the planet, onto this like vibration of the planet. And so really what I'm saying is the end times, the second coming of Christ, is happening now, but it's not what we maybe as Christians would think. It's not Jesus coming back to take the Christians off of the planet. I don't mean to be disrespectful because I don't believe that anymore. But I do believe that it is this heightened awareness. It's a different stage of consciousness. So we're now going to understand that we are all connected. We are all one, on a deeper energetic level, on a spiritual soul connected level. And I think the more we see that, the more we will have love for other people, the more we will, be open to, helping and sharing and all these different things. But it's, I don't think that the second coming of Christ is playing out like people maybe thought, but that this is what's happening now, that the consciousness of the planet is rising, and we're all realizing that we're in this together. And that's what I think the second coming of Christ is. I feel like it's this awakening of consciousness on the planet right now, and we're all part of it. You're seeing it everywhere, and I just wanted to share that. It's just my opinion, and if you want to learn more, I have other videos on meditation, mindfulness, connecting to yourself, and yeah, that's it for me. Thanks.